Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So last week you asked me a few questions on YouTube and Instagram, and today it's the Q&A video, so I'm gonna answer them right now. Just for you know, this is totally unprepared, so it might be like a raw video. Stay tuned. Oh, and as you see, Lizanne's with me, and I'm driving, obviously, so she's gonna ask the question for me.
I have everything here. Okay, so first question. How does Tacticat handle this trip?
Okay, so first of all, really cool name for Yugi.
Yes, I like it.
I'm not sure if it's really a Tacticat, but I love the name.
It is.
It handles the trip pretty well, actually. He loves hiking, he loves being outdoor, and he loves drinking fresh water from all the lakes we visit. So I think he's happy and he's enjoying this trip.
Yeah, right now he's sleeping, so
Yeah.
I think he's handling it pretty well. When are you coming to Australia?
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say every question is a good question. So another good question. This is something I have in my mind for a long time, actually. We are now crossing Europe, and we're gonna do Russia and Mongolia, but I really want to put my foes in a boat and send it overseas, and Australia will be a very nice destination. There is a lot of sea, a lot to explore out there, and especially you have awesome bull bars, and I would love to get one directly in Australia. It will be an awesome trip. So maybe one day, it's in my mind.
Will you do other mods to the Forester? That's a good question.
That's a very good question, and I think the answer is pretty obvious. Yes, I'm gonna do other mod to the Forester. It's a never-ending process, and there is always something to do, something to fix, or something new things to make. There is one thing I wanted to do before going on this trip is to paint and or warp the rear windows and get a rear view camera, reverse camera. It will be a really nice addition to the car, because right now I can't really see what is going on the back of the car, and sometimes I struggle to reverse or stuff like this. So it will be for the look and the practical side, it will be nice to do this, and I will probably do that.
How is the cat doing?
He's sleeping, he's doing well.
So Lloyd asked you if you miss him already.
Oh, Lloyd.
No, mate.
No, it's actually being on the road trip for so long. It's one tough thing to leave everyone behind, including friends and family. It's one of the downside of for a long adventure like this, but we have to. So yeah.
You're getting a rear locker?
Oh, the rear locker. So the new torque locker, it's a real game changer for off-road Subaru enthusiasts, that's for sure. But I didn't actually took the time to check if it's a good mod or not, and I know it's a good mod for off-road rigs, but for an overland rig like mine, I'm driving on pavements, on kind of every conditions. I'm not sure it's the best kind of locker you can get, so I'm gonna wait for more reviews and maybe just see one and try one in person before making this mod to my Forester.
Why a Forester and not something bigger? Because if it was bigger, I would bring way too many makeup, like way more makeup.
No, you have your beauty space and
It's too small.
it's way enough. Okay, so when I wanted to travel, but I didn't know how. In a motorcycle, a bicycle, because I love mountain bikes, in a car, in an SUV, in a four-wheel drive, a van, a truck, I didn't know. So, and at this time I didn't really thought about space, but more about money, because the less I spend on the rig, the more I have left for traveling, and I wanted to get something pretty cheap but also capable off-road, and so I needed all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. But the thing is, all four-wheel drive vans or truck are really expensive, and okay, there is a turn here, so I need to focus on this. Sorry guys. Okay, so I was looking for a rig and an off-road rig, and big rigs were actually too expensive for me, and so I was looking for something smaller, but something all-wheel drive, and I did a few research, and there was the Honda CR-V, but it didn't have low range gear, so I think the Subaru was a very good option, and I found this one really cheap on the French Craigslist, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be the Forester because it's a really good deal. And at this time I wasn't really a real Subaru enthusiast. I'm sorry to say that, but now I really love Subarus.
You are. How do you find the right way?
Okay.
Don't you do it right?
Yeah, actually, I ask this to myself and to Lizanne sometimes, but are we doing things the right way? I don't know. So
yeah, we just do some research. We did a lot of research before, and still on the road we do a lot of research about what we want to see and how we want to cross the country, and then we just go from there, and every day is a new day. So
sometimes we find new things on the road and it's interesting.
Yep.
Sometimes we explore gravel road and there's nothing, it's a dead end. So
yeah, it's just trying, like we try every single day. So Lizanne Crenier asks you, do you love me?
oh yes, I love you.
Okay, so when you buy Torque locker,
Yeah, it's
it's
the same question actually.
Okay, yes, I think this question came quite a few times.
Yeah, the torque locker, it's a really, as I said, a game changer, a very nice news for Subaru enthusiasts, and I would love to try it, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna install it on my car yet.
How do you find this beautiful campsite?
Um,
It's a little bit of luck.
yeah, sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's spending times exploring gravel road, because sometimes it's not a dead end, sometimes it's a beautiful camp spot with a lake, a nice sunset. And actually in Finland it's quite
like that, yeah,
quite like that. We also have several apps like Park for Night or OVERLANDER. There's nice areas, so we can check them, and that's it. This is how we do it.
Yeah, we are good at exploring the area. We really like it, so we go in one way and then we just hope to find something nice. Okay, with all the gear loaded, what kind of gas mileage are you getting? Gas mileage?
Yep. So yeah, the Forester is very heavily loaded, and we have something on top of the roof, so it's not the best for gas mileage, obviously. On highway, it's actually not that bad. I'm around 9 or 10 liter per 100 kilometers. I'm gonna translate this up there in miles per gallon for our US viewers. But when we are out there on the trails and I'm doing a lot of filming, and I go walk the trail to see if it's possible to drive through it, yeah, it's getting pretty bad, and I'm around 12-30 liter per 100 kilometer, so that's not that good. And so the average is 11 liter per 100 kilometer.
Okay, so here's another one. So considering how expensive the rooftop tents are, would you say that your trip is better because of the tents?
That's a good question, and actually we had this conversation with Lizanne while driving, and I think it is, because it's really convenient, and it's not on the ground, so it doesn't get messy, and it takes some time to pack and unpack. But other kind of tents, you also have to do this, and sleeping in the Forester wasn't possible for us because we have so much gear for a year-long trip, and honestly I will not be able to spend too much time asleep on the back of the Forester, because our rooftop tents, when days are really rainy and we don't really want to get outside, we can spend not the full day but sometimes chilling in the rooftop tent. It's a nice area to chill. We have the iPad, we can watch some film, and it's comfortable. So I think for a trip like this, it's a good investment. But if you're just going out there once a month, it's maybe overkill.
Yeah. Okay. So the Foz with the rooftop tent is an excellent backcountry setup.
Yep.
Traveling full time, you are not always able to find private, secluded area to camp. Have you used the rooftop tent for camping? Have you used the rooftop tent for camping in more metropolitan inner city areas? And if so, do you still feel comfortable and protected?
Yeah, good question, because it's actually a downside of the rooftop tent. It's just canvas, and you are pretty much exposed, and it's a big tent, so people know that you're in the tent sleeping. So we are on the road for 2 months now, and we're in Scandinavia, so it's a lot of wilderness, so we didn't sleep really in cities, but there are safe countries here, so it's not something really that we have in mind. So everything's fine for now.
How do you pay for all this adventuring? Oh, so I answered to this question in my video.
Okay, so she advertised a little bit her channel, so we just had filming another Q&A for her channel with other questions, so you can check it out as well. But I'm gonna answer this question, and so if you didn't know, I was in the army a few years ago, the French Marines, and I've been deployed a few times, and I think it's the same for US soldiers, but the French soldiers, you get paid a little bit more when you're deployed, so I saved up this extra money for traveling.
And for myself, when I have decided to go with Jordan, I asked him to give me 1 year to be able to save up money as well. And during this year, I worked as an account manager as my main job, and I also work as a babysitter and a pet sitter, which is typically a babysitter but for pets. And I also sold a lot of my stuff, so every electronical gear that I had, or most of my clothes, to save up and to have money, because I wanted to have my own funds for this trip.
Yeah, and I also sold one of my mountain bike, and that broke my heart. But sometimes you have to make sacrifice for the greater good, you know.
Yeah. What is one good thing you did not expect about overlanding full time, and what is one bad thing you did not expect about overlanding full time? So one good thing, one bad thing about overlanding full time.
Okay, there is one good thing I didn't expect it. It's about the rooftop tents, because I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning it was a little bit difficult. It was a real struggle mostly to pack it up, to leave the camp spot. It was a real hard work, and now I get used to it. I found the right way to do it, and now it's really simple, real quick, and yeah, it's way better, and I'm happy with that, because it's not a struggle every morning. It's just a normal thing to do. It's just the morning routine, so that's a good thing. I didn't really expect it.
And one bad thing?
25 days of rain in Norway. We didn't really expect that, and I think it kind of not ruined our trip in Norway, but it was a real shame for especially the Lofoten Island. It was supposed to be a paradisiac island and beach and stuff like this, but under the rain you can't hike and you can do nothing, and it wasn't that good. So yeah, a bad thing. We didn't expect it, weather, but we can't do anything about it, sadly. Another question?
Is it difficult traveling from country to country with different languages? Do most people speak English? How do you manage reading road signs, business signs, grocery store product, etc. in so different languages?
Okay. So
Google Translate is your friend, first of all.
yeah, we have a ton of devices and internet to translate everything. But for now, in Scandinavia, mostly everyone talk real good English, so this is no problem. Products are pretty much the same as in France, so we are not completely lost. The road signs are, yeah, they are Scandinavian names, so I can't even pronounce them. But it's not so different, so it's not a struggle for us. But I think when we're gonna be in Russia or Central Asia, it's gonna be a bit tricky, a bit difficult, yeah.
Yeah, and in grocery store we actually like to try and taste new things. So sometimes we just like grab few different things and we taste them and we see if we like it or not. So it's also kind of
It's fun to discover new foreign things.
Yeah, so it's fun. We try to turn it in the fun way. Do you encounter very many other traveler people camping on the back roads you are using? Does it feel safe or are there any uncomfortable situation?
Okay. So yet, no, we didn't had any uncomfortable situation. There are pretty nice camp spot every time.
We like 3 times they asked us to leave.
Yeah.
And that was not very fun.
But it wasn't fun, but not. We weren't unsafe. It was an unpleasant thing, and we had to move, but we were still safe. But we crossed the road actually on a camp spot, the most remote camp spot. Family of Overlanders from the UK, and they are very nice. They also had a rooftop tent, and we shared a lot, and we actually talked for 2 hours.
Yep.
We also, by chance, our way crossed a German couple 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
That was really unexpected and really fun because we were like, oh, that's them again. And for 3 times in a row we saw them. So at the end, the 3rd time, we went for a real chat, and once again we talked for 3 hours, and that was a very nice conversation, a really nice meeting. And I think we're gonna meet more people on the road, that's for sure.
Yeah. And the last question.
Okay.
Is it difficult to do your video editing while traveling? That's a very, very big subject for Jordan.
Yeah. I like to get everything in order, to prepare everything. Like this Q&A video was a struggle for me because, as I said, it's raw, it's unprepared. But most of the time for my filming, I want to write some thoughts and then speak. But now we are living on the road, so we have to cook, we have to make the laundry, we have to find a camp spot. We also have to enjoy the day, so we found nice hikes, some stuff to visit, and beside that, I also have to work on the videos, and that's really difficult. And some stuff we visit, or it's part of overlanding because we visit new stuff, but I want to put some more overlanding in the Forester, like traveling off pavement, and I think that's really interesting, and it's something I love, and I'm pretty sure you love too. So I'm kind of lost, and I don't really know what to film, how to film, and yeah, that's a bit of a struggle. And the other part is editing videos. I'm really long at editing videos, and now that we have it's not unlimited data, not unlimited electricity, I have to be really focused on what I'm doing, and it's really difficult because this is not how I used to work and edit my videos. Most of the time for my Friday video, all the editing work have been done the Thursday during the night. Like most of the time you finish editing at
like 5 a.m. on the Friday
Yeah.
morning. So
And this is how I used to work, and now I can't. So yeah, I had to change my way to work. I have to change the way I film, and that's a very big change, and I'm still a bit struggling about that.
actually, I have one more question.
Oh, really?
Yes, for sure this one is the last one.
Okay.
So how do you have shower during your road trip? For example, I have a camping shower, but now with low temperature, it's becoming to be hard.
Okay. So yeah, I can relate to this.
We all can.
Yeah. Okay. First thing, I really love hot shower. I could spend hours and hours in hot shower. It's I love it. So shower is really important for me, and it's also really important for us because we love to be clean.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yep.
You know, I say this because some people don't really care, and they can not shower for a week,
Yeah.
for days and weeks, and that's not how we do it. So we also have a shower cabin, shower tent, and we heat up some water because showering with cold water is impossible.
No.
Not possible. So it's time consuming, and it takes also a lot of gas because we heat up with the stove. This is the only way we have yet. And we put this hot water in a bucket inside the shower cabin, and we have a shower knob. It's on a battery, so we have a nice shower knob and nice stream of water, hot water, because we heat it. And actually the shower cabin acts a little bit like a sauna, and the warmth stay inside. So that's very nice, and that's why hot shower is also important, because you have this little warmth inside the shower cabin. The tricky part is the before and after the shower, because yeah, obviously you have to get naked to get into the shower cabin, and I don't feel comfortable getting naked inside because it's too small, and I just it's just too small. So I do this before
Outside, yeah.
outside, and yeah, it's really cold. When it's rainy, it's
The worst.
it's hardcore.
But yeah, I think the difficult part is before and after. Before because you have to get naked, as you said, and after because you're still a little bit wet, and you have to go out and you have to open this little sauna, and you have to let all the fresh air come in, and it's not very good, but
And most of the time, I still have to put some stuff in the car and close the car, lock the door. So I have to stay outside after the shower for at least 5 or 10 minutes. So
yeah, but the thing is, we try to, when we have to go shower, we try to prepare all our stuff before. So like we brush our teeth before, we prepare the pajamas before, we prepare, if I have to wash my hair, I prepare like all the stuff that I will need. So after that, after I close the shower, I don't have to go out anymore. I don't have to ask anything. I'm just like showering and get as dry as I can. And after that, I just like put some stuff back in the forester for 5-10 minutes, and then I'm up to the roof of the house. So yeah, we actually didn't try the tent in a very low temperature, because the first time that we had the low temperature, it was our first time out.
we didn't have the shower cabin.
And we had I don't even know if we can call it a shower.
Yeah,
because
it's, you know, the portable solar shower, like it's
a
But
big bag of
basically
water.
a black bag you have to put on top of something. It's just a hose, and this is
Yeah.
don't go on a road trip with that.
We tried it, and it was kind of, well, now we can laugh about it, but it
Yeah.
wasn't very fun.
That was fun, but for a long trip, this is a no-go.
Yeah, and so every time that I have to go and take my shower, I think about this. I remember this moment when I was naked in the forest by -2 with this black bag trying to take my shower, and I remember like, okay, now it's so comfortable and so comfy, I can do it. So
Could be better, but it could be worse as well.
So yeah, but probably we are going to update you on this subject when we are like in Poland during winter.
Yeah, that will be different, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, so that was it, the Q&A. I really hope you enjoyed it. As I said, I didn't prepare anything. It was straight answer, raw answer. I'm not really good at this.
It was spontaneous.
Yeah, spontaneous. I tried, and I hope you all liked it. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. You can also check my Instagram account, my Facebook page, and my merch store. Obviously, if you have more questions, you can ask them in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. See you next week.